Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your favorite ringmaster is back. Welcome to the circus. I am your host, Cinder Soleil. There's a few things I want to talk about. I got some white pills toward the end for you, so stay tuned for that. Like and subscribe on the way if you would. Please help my little circus grow if you don't mind. But before we get into the good stuff, we gotta cover the spicy stuff. And boy, is Cinder feeling spicy today. I got a rant. I got a couple rants for you. Anybody who's talking politics right now, anybody who's talking like the real issues right now, you're probably expecting to hear something about the Epstein files, right? As you might have heard if you've been listening to me for a while, I have been working on an Epstein video, and it's basically just meant to cover everything from the beginning, all of what we know, all our theories, all the possibilities, which with the latest batch, admittedly, I am kind of I don't know where to go from here basically. I'm like barely halfway done with I still have so much formatting to do with the original video and now with the most recent batch. And it is really important, the stuff inside, and I feel like everybody should be talking about it, even if you don't have much of an audience. It's going to take so much longer. And considering everybody and their mother has made a video on the Epstein files by now, and that's a really good thing. The point being, I don't know really where to go with my content in regards to Epstein. I might just drop the big video, or at the very least, I'll continue working on it quietly in the background. My main reason for not talking about Epstein thus far is like I'm saving it for the big video, and the thing about news is that it just keeps coming, right? I might just start talking about Epstein regardless, and I'll still do the big video and whatever, but I should stop procrastinating this. Some of the shit that is coming out of the latest batch of the Epstein files is absolutely batshit insane. You heard me mention a few things if you watched my Ranking Conspiracies video. There was 2 Epstein conspiracies in there. Um, and I believe it came up in other places too, like how the CIA is shady and stuff, and the world being run by satanic pedophiles. Would anybody be surprised at this point? Hold on. What was I saying? Yeah. So you've already heard me reference like a few of the latest things that came out of the Epstein files we got. And stuff of this has been a pattern, right? Like the last few leaks, there were these photos that of just weird shit in general. Like on top of the celebrities that were pictured with Epstein, on top of the politicians that were pictured with Epstein, we also got things like some of you might remember like the weird looking quote unquote dentist chair that was surrounded by weird tribal paganistic masks. I'm an atheist, guys, but that was really creepy even for me. Got Hillary Clinton looking like a witch in her witch robes. Good God, was Alex Jones right all along? My God. Something that drove me absolutely nuts is some of the right, including Ben Shapiro, the right is so. It's pissing me off. And the left. Everybody's pissing me off to some extent. Thankfully, the majority of people are looking at this through an unbiased lens and saying, okay, that's really creepy shit. A lot of people on the right are saying, hey, if Trump is in here, oh my God, he should be arrested if he participated in anything like the Bushes or the Clintons are said to have. And then people on the left are saying, oh my God, if Clinton or Hillary or anybody on their side, they're saying the same basically. There are literally riots in New York City right now because allegedly Zoran or a family member of Zoran was in there. I don't know exactly. I've heard conflicting reports on that, so I'll have to look into that. I didn't plan to go fully down the Epstein rabbit hole today, so I'm not prepared. I really want to double check because another problem that's been coming up when talking about Epstein is that there's a lot of deceptive edits and AI slop, even AI slop. That's just talking nonsense, which is really freaking annoying. People are talking about how Trump comes up in the Epstein files a lot, and he does. And they're saying that, oh my God, Trump is guilty. Unfortunately, this could change. I'm extremely suspicious of Trump. If you've been listening to me for a hot minute, you would know that I don't really have much of an allegiance to Trump, if any, anymore. I voted for him in like 2020. I wouldn't mind seeing Trump arrested at this point. He's pissing me off in a lot of ways. But at the same time, the people who are like, your name comes up, period, regardless of context, you should be hanged. Which, that's not how it works. If you get talked about, especially if you're a really famous guy, it doesn't make you part of the scheme. By no means am I defending anybody who comes up in the file to a degree that like, hey, stop looking into this. He's innocent. And that's what's happening with Trump a lot right now, is because his name comes up in the files a lot, obviously. We also have O'Keefe videos of people at the Justice Department saying, oh, they're going to take out all the Republicans and leave the Democrats. We also know Trump was generally in cahoots with Epstein. He just signing a birthday card or sending a birthday card in and of itself wouldn't really mean anything. It was the context of the birthday card that Trump sent that was really weird, and things like that. That's just the pattern with Trump and the Epstein files so far, is that there's so much that looks so guilty. There's so much that looks so weird and gross and stuff. But then it's not enough no matter what. It's not enough to prove he actually did something gross, which is really fucking annoying. We don't know if that's corruption or we don't know if that's genuine and like Trump is genuinely an innocent person. Because there's so many conflicting reports by now. I'm not going to take a Democrat's word for it. At the same time, do I take Trump's word? No. Do I take Pam Pondi's word? Fuck no. Not after her record. I can't, as usual, we can't even trust the three-letter agencies. Shocker, I know. Epstein was literally in cahoots with the past, 6 administrations? George Bush Sr. was in the files doing creepy shit. Clintons were in the file doing creepy shit. There's a lot of references to Obama. Obama's attorney general literally is the one who let Epstein off on a super easy sentence when he was first arrested for what he did, his original crimes. Who knows anything anymore? That's my point. And that's what's frustrating with the Epstein files is like I don't know what I can trust. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. And the other problem when it comes to corruption is I thought this was made a good point of it. Sorry, maybe a dumb question, but if there are Epstein files, videos, and names tied to serious crimes, why hasn't anyone been arrested yet? Superstar DJ Avicii found dead after exposing pedo ring. How much longer until they kill me, heart attack, or car accident, or frame me for a crime? Read me while you can. That was Andrew Breitbart. Disturbing links between death of Avicii and the elite pedo rings he was working to destroy continue to surface, with friends of the DJ and producer stating the 28-year-old multimillionaire had dedicated the rest of his life to protecting, presumably children there. Model who exposed elite pedo ring found dead after tweet predicting she'd be killed. The filmmaker, known for a documentary series, The Fall of the Cabal, has been confirmed as dead by suicide. Albuquerque actor dies by suicide in Arizona, named Hollywood pedo. Famous Argentina model and whistleblower researched an elite pedo ring in Argentina, named top politicians and Pope Benedict in a live TV show. I think she's dead now. And then, of course, Virginia Giuffre. Sure, she swore under oath, amid all her things, she saw Trump at the parties and stuff, but she never saw him commit a crime. But why was Trump at these parties? This whole thing just reeks of corruption, and more is coming out. Like, there were millions of pages dropped. It's going to take some time for anybody to look through all of them. If you want somebody who's kind of unbiased and is just like, I hate everybody, I'm not protecting anybody at this point, I would recommend looking at Blair White. Her videos on Epstein so far have been really interesting. They do lean into like an Alex Jonesy conspiracy sort of way, so just bear that in mind. But I think she does a good job of being unbiased and just pointing out we don't have what we can to prove Trump is in on this shit, but he's still fucking but he's still fucking weird as fuck. And while also not covering for the Clintons or anything. James O'Keefe, he's another good one. Even while Trump was, yes, obviously he's known right-wing guy, but even while Trump was like saying no Epstein files, he was still going against the grain and saying no, we're not letting the story die. And then we got the videos of like the DOJ member. We got the video with the original worker on the Epstein case. I'd recommend looking at them for now. I'm going to try to put together a video with everything that I can about Epstein, but it's gonna take a while. And it's gonna take a strong stomach. That's the other problem, is just a lot of the shit that's coming out. If you have a strong stomach, you can even watch Asmongold's coverage of it. He goes really in depth on like some of the grossest shit. It's really bad. The amount of coverage this is already getting, the amount of fake news and AI slop from both sides, it's genuinely really hard to just cut through the noise, and I'm trying to just double check everything, especially because the latest drop is still pretty new. There's still millions of files yet to go through. There's just I'm really trying to wait and double check everything and make sure stuff is real, right? Anyway, let's move on. There's a disturbing new trend. And you shouldn't be surprised if you know how our teachers' unions run, or what a white liberal woman, including unfortunately moms, because apparently these wenches procreated, by a miracle, they are willing to weaponize their children. We've seen women take their freaking babies, take their young children into protests, into riots, which even if it's a quote unquote peaceful protest, you still shouldn't do that. Like, especially with like a baby. That's like taking a baby to a freaking metal concert. Things get rowdy, things get loud, there's vulgarity, there's sometimes nudism, because a bunch of, especially if you get the queers involved. It's fucking creepy. You shouldn't do that. And then these things they're like they're like walking on the edge of the knife, one little quiver away from descending into a riot. Things get disorderly all the time at these things, especially on the left. Why would you even take that risk with your child? Fuck you. Go protest by yourself if you're that much of a dumb cunt. Leave your kids out of it. Oh my god. Need to be more CPS calls on these frickin' wenches. But anyway, that disturbing new trend is teachers getting in on the action. I thought my kid was safe here. Based mom, granted, but the school encouraged students to protest against ICE. Go out in the road, block traffic. Like, that's not dangerous. Literally, since when do we tell kids, hey kids, go play in the road? What the fuck?
This is my daughter's middle school. Being allowed to protest.
And of course the kids get rowdy and start booing and screaming and crying and shitting their pants.
Traffic,
because she didn't honk at them.
having everyone honk. I'm pulling my child from school today.
What do you want to bet the literacy rate of this school is? Probably under 20%.
This is fucking unbelievable.
That is the common trend with these schools. One in California, literally zero.
I'm here
Pathetic.
to pull my child from the school right now.
Absolutely
I'm here to
fucking pathetic.
From the school district.
So you want to withdraw it?
Yep. This is unbelievable. I can't believe my kid is in this environment right now. I'm blown away.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Can she be?
Can you imagine? I cannot imagine. My mom got so pissed because my school was teaching the tenets of Islam. Not like, hey, this is what Islam is and it exists. I mean, like, they were showing you how to pray. They were considering like a field trip to a mosque. My mom was livid. And she would have been livid if it was a Christian church or even, but Islam's even worse. Muhammad marrying a fucking 6-year-old or a 9-year-old. And they say that as like a fun fact. Muhammad married a 9-year-old. Wow. No, that's disturbing. That's disgusting. My mom was so pissed, though. She wrote a whole letter to the school. She said, no more of this. You're not teaching my child fucking Islam. What happened to the separation of church and school, right? You would, that school, especially because this is California, that school would be freaking leveled if they dared to teach everybody about the Bible, about the Torah or something. But they can get away with the Quran and Islam. And my mom was so fucking mad about that. If my school told me to go out in the road and protest, oh my, I can't imagine. My mouth is not cooperating. If my school told me to go out into the road, block traffic, which first of all, that's not protesting anymore, that's being a fucking nuisance, I cannot imagine the explosion. That wouldn't be mom sending a letter, that'd be dad. That'd be dad ready to kick down some doors, which I endorse that. Peaceful, obviously, don't assault anybody or anything like that. We're not the left. Then again, maybe it's about time for conservatives to show some balls. Heck, I even have a post about that coming up. And more dads should be doing that, by the way. When schools try to pull shit like this.
Be brought down to the office right now, please.
If we have everybody out there, we'll get her.
I'm blown away. As a mother?
Yeah. Well, So I can explain to you what we're told.
This is disrupting traffic and my child's education. I need to see my kid.
Yeah, we have to.
Okay. When she's down here,
I
I
can't.
will sign. Are you serious?
Side note, I can't get it any louder than this. They're just talking really quietly, or the lady has a bad phone mic or something. Try to pump it up here as much as I can.
Because there's unfortunately some parental agreements where it's
Every time I bring it in, she doesn't check it because she knows me. This is amazing. As I walked up, I was getting booed by every single student. By the way, I'm making that known. Because I didn't honk, I pulled up to make sure everyone was okay.
Fucking insane.
Absolutely not.
Look at this cuck over here.
Did we already get your student?
No, not yet.
I mean, we called for him and everything though? Okay.
Destroy the Karenocracy.
Who's your student? Just
Ranting,
can you just
7th grade.
she gets from stairs to here? Absolutely. Yep, Maddie over
And I want to be escorted to there because every single student booed me because I pulled up here, rolled down my window. Is everything okay? What's going on? To run into this? I didn't honk. I parked as soon as I walked up.
7th grade. That is diabolical, too. Now, to be fair, most of these kids, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They just want an excuse to get out of class, I'm sure. But a lot of them, I'm sure the teachers are the ones, hey guys, ice is bad. Ice is bad. Why else do we have so many kids? And not anymore, thankfully, the rates have gone way down. Kind of like we predicted, it was a social contagion, but this was the reason why we had so many children transitioning. And the reason why there's still way more than there should be is because we had fucking teachers. Yes, some parents, but a lot, mostly teachers, because just there's a disturbing amount of psychotic leftists in the teaching industry. We had so many teachers that were just literally telling telling kids, "Hey, you're a tomboy as a girl. You might actually be a boy, not just a tomboy. Little boy who's a little dainty, he's not quite super masculine yet. So hey, do you feel like a girl? Just dress up however you like, right? Try to put on this dress here. We'll provide you with dresses and makeup. Doesn't that feel nice? Don't you want to be a girl?" It's fucking insane. We need fucking cameras in classrooms. We need stricter checks on teachers, who we let be teachers. We need mass reform to the education system, and we need mass firings of these teachers. So many of them are fucking insane. Put them in the box. Another one. Dad found out about his daughter's school participating in walkout protests. He pulled her out of it completely and put her in a different school. I thought there was someone coming down the fucking stairs. There's a ladybug slamming into a light bulb that makes a weird sound. Gross. Hate that. Anyway, middle school really is the most diabolical age to do this because you think you're such an adult at that point. You're extremely hormonal. You're angry at everything, including yourself. And you think, oh my god, this might protesting. That could make my parents mad. That's such a rebel thing to do. I'm gonna do that. And then fall down the rabbit hole of woke politics. Middle school really is. We really need stricter guidelines on who can teach middle school. There were still teachers you could catch. Just, are you a conservative? Then you're a racist. Oh my god. What we took for granted. You still shouldn't be doing that as a teacher. But I'd say trying to change your students' genders, trying to make them run around in the road to protest, I'd say that's worse. Another one. I don't know where Fremont is, but encouraged to walk out. Kid almost got hit. Wait, kid did get hit by a fucking SUV. Tried to blame the fucking SUV driver, not the kids running on the road, not the school encouraging them to run on the road. Look at them. I'm gonna run on the road and then wonder why I got fucking hit by a car. I can't blame her entirely. What am I saying? High school. If you're in fucking high school, you should know better to run in front of cars, you fucking moron. I don't care if you're a minor. This is fucking insufferable. Fuck this school. Oh, what do you want to bet this is another literacy rate that's below 20%, by the way? And we need more parents like that first mom. We need more people speaking out about this instead of just backing down. Especially in schools, because Politics is such a hostile environment. Schools are even less regulated. Everybody thinks you can get away with everything because you're just a kid. Literally, they're quote unquote conservative children, kids who aren't on the right, especially in like middle and high school, where you kind of start talking about more about politics and you start showing a little more interest, not like elementary school. Elementary school, if you're talking about politics, you're fucking insane. Because you be talking about fucking Power Rangers, latest episode of Stranger Things at best. But the kids in high school and middle school who are more into politics, a lot of them are like afraid, especially especially when you have like the liberal teachers who literally exile students for trying to protest a teacher's insane political rant. We've seen that many times from student recordings. They get sent out of class, they get grades deduced. It feels like they're targeted. You feel like you're targeted. We just literally had Brown University. They literally just murdered that psychopath. Literally just murdered the vice principal of the Republicans Club on a campus with like 1,000 Republicans compared to like 12,000 total students. It really is fucking insane. And you are more likely to find more hostility toward right wing politics than towards left wing. If you're not going to keep the same energy for right wing politics that you do for left wing politics, then no politics at all. And that includes your little gender identity shit. Teachers trying to make kids call a mix or something. Keep that shit to yourself. My God. Unfortunately, this is also true. I'm getting really sick of conservatives saying they aren't going to like it when we start defending ourselves. You people never do anything more than whine on X. Fucking true. Oh my God. I get it. Conservatives are more likely to have a job. Conservatives want to play nice. Followed up, there are so many conservative cowards whining in my replies about all the reasons they can do things. The left will win because the right are massive pussies. Yes! Oh my God. Every time you think the right is going to do something, like you think you're poking a bear, and that's a geriatric bear that can't even stand up fully. The right is pathetic when it comes to organizing. The right is pathetic when it comes to showing any sort of spine. The slightest disagreement on the right will become an entire reason to just not ally with each other, right? Now, I get it. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of people on the right that, understandably, we would be skeptical of allying ourselves with or considering ourselves allies. The right doesn't want to be associated with Candace Owens. The right doesn't want to be associated with Nick Fuentes or whatever, right? At the same time, that's why the left is so fucking crazy, is because the common liberal that's just kind of like, I mean, I want the really bad illegals are deported, but I have some different opinions about XYZ. They will ally themselves with the likes of fucking Hassan Piker and those faggots to get shit done. What do we say all the time? The left doesn't talk, they act. They don't talk about the differences. They don't talk about where we disagree. They don't talk about, okay, we're going to exile you from the left. We got to clean our house. They're not doing that. They're just acting. Lawfare kind of helps. But especially while we have judges blocking us, where's the lawfare taking us? What should be one of the easiest issues? The SAVE Act, voter ID. That should be like the easiest fucking thing. A majority American, even CNN is admitting this. White, Latino, black, allegedly even the demographics that, could be negatively impacted by voter ID. A majority of them want voter ID. And somehow, we still have the fucking uniparty voting against it. The easiest possible thing that any Republican and a lot of Democrats should agree to. We still can't even get that done. There's a lot of great shit going on with the ICE raids. A lot of great shit going on there. We're getting shit done. Kind of. Barely. It's like the best that the right can run. And granted, part of the problem is that the left is so fucking crazy. They're just going to make a formidable opponent regardless. At the same time, we literally have fucking mayors. We have governors that are hinting at fucking civil war. We have a fucking mayor who is saying, I am going to ban federal agents from my city and turn the local police against them and hand intelligence to quote-unquote community leaders, which is just fucking Antifa. Especially in fucking Seattle. Seattle and Portland are like the birthplace of those faggots. And we're still just sitting on our ass. Oh, let's do this the lawful way and let's do this the good way. I saw a headline, Gavin Newsom totally caved to Trump. No. Local California police refused to enforce the ICE agents must show their face, no masks for ICE agents thing. It was just because local cops refused to enforce it. And that takes a lot of spine. I praise those guys. Fuck Trump. He's not doing anything. But oh my god, I'm so fucking sick of Trump at this point. Do something. Something. My god. Can we just get nothing done? Oh my god. The right's worst enemy is not the left. It's the right. Apparently we can't get shit done. And especially fuck the Daily Wire people. Oh my god, Ben Shapiro's the reason half of this. The Ben Shapiro's of the world is half the reason we have this problem. It has to purity test everybody with Israel, and then the Epstein files don't exist. The first two ostracize literally everybody on the right because they don't agree with Israel. Fuck that little frisbee wearing faggot. Spicy Cinder today. I am so mad about this. Fuck everybody. Get shit done. We need a new party that's just common sense, really. Just literally. Streamer space, alt media, mainstream media. The right will tear itself limb from limb. People on the right were mad at Massey and MTG because they're like, are you happy? Conservatards? Now the left can deceptively edit what was found in the Epstein files to frame Trump. So we're going to keep all the crazy shit we're finding in those files. And there are faggots on the right that are mad that it was put out because, well, it can be deceptively edited to make Trump look bad. There's deceptive edits, there's AI slop that they're trying to push based on those files. For right and left figures, it's not just Trump. Does that fucking mean the files shouldn't have come out? That there's not real disgusting shit in the files that people should be arrested for? And why? If Trump is so innocent, why was all of this delayed? He told us these files don't exist. If we just obey Trump, none of this would be out there. We have files of fucking elites eating babies. But we can't let the people know that because it would be a threat to the political structure of fuck the political structure. Half of them are into this shit. That's the problem. Just a couple videos ago, I said I kind of understand a lot of what anarchists. I kind of understand where a lot of anarchists are coming from, where like just fuck the feds. It should be all up to states. I kind of get where they're coming from, and I don't agree, and I still don't 100% agree. But I'm really starting to agree with them at the same time, you know. Fuck our federal government. Fuck our local governments. You think they're any better? Look at Minnesota. Look at fucking California. Look at Oregon. Look at Washington. They're not doing any better. Fuck everybody at this point. Fuck everybody. My god. I am sick of shit. I want to see. I have to be careful with my words here. I want to see people go to prison. I want to see people go to prison. And if they are proven guilty, especially of what was found in the Epstein files, I want to see fucking heads hang. I want to see heads roll. Found in this country because we were sick of being taxed on tea. Now there's fucking pedos in the government screwing us at every turn, fraudsters, defrauding us millions and billions. And we're just gonna roll over and take it. The right's just gonna roll over and take it. The left pretends it doesn't exist, the right just takes it. Fuck this world. Fuck everything. Oh my god, why am I here? I'm ready to get off now. Aliens. What happened to that thing that the conspiracy theorists thought was an alien spaceship coming to Earth? The more religious ones thought it might have been Jesus or something. Yep. Speed it up. Come on. Bring it in. Bring it in. Come on. I'm ready for the asteroid to hit. Ready for the alien overlords to come here. And sadly, the sad part is, there's nowhere else to go, really. Think Russia's much better? You think China's much better? Europe's much better? Right now? Think South Africa's much better? Think the Middle East is much better? America's run, apparently, by satanic pedophiles. The amount of Qatari, Israeli, Saudi Arabian, European people that have been found in the Epstein files, too. This is a worldwide thing. I hate everything. I know I just went a little crazy. Crazy clown mode. It happens. It's a risk. Oh, fuck the abortion bill. I don't care about that shit. The fact that people are still talking about fucking abortion at a time like this. Oh my god. Get it together. Take it up with your local government. Leave it out of the federal politics. Abortion's been kicked back to the states, so all you Republicans can do what they want. Blue states can do what they fucking want. I don't fucking care about abortion anymore. This is why. There's another reason why the left is that they weaponize nothing burger issues like that. Women's rights. Don't be a fucking whore. Half the bills aren't even like you can't get an abortion anymore. It's just not gonna be taxpayer fucking funded, you whore. Oh my god. No more ranting. No more ranting. Done. We're done. We're done. We're done. Okay? We're done. We're done. We're gonna start handing out some white pills now. While the world is annoying, the left remains crazy, and the right remains spineless, there are still some good things happening. For one, Tom Homan announced he spoke with the chief of Minneapolis police and made them take down the roadblocks being set up. You won't stop ICE. It's a really little thing, but it's nice, you know? Maybe no more fucking Chaz in Minneapolis. We're not doing that shit again. If we can actually arrest the faggots in Minneapolis that are actually causing the chaos, that'll be even better. You'll notice if you actually arrest the people who are causing the chaos, like Miss Destiny Jackson, if you notice if you actually arrest those people, there won't be much of a need for the tear gas anymore. There won't be much of a need for like 5 times the amount of ICE agents in Minneapolis as police officers. You might notice that. You might notice the chaos recede if you actually deal with the psychopaths and stop caving. You'll also notice less Renee Goods, less Alex Preddies. Anyway, Tom Homan also says the number of Minnesota counties working directly with ICE is surging. Great news. We currently have an unprecedented number of counties communicating with us now and allowing ICE to take custody of illegal aliens before they hit the streets. That's good. That's half the problem with these blue cities, and that's half the reason for the chaos, is that the jails, because obviously they're going after the worst of the worst first, right? I think if you're illegal, period, get the fuck out. But they are targeting the worst of the worst first, and that is a good strategy. That's a bipartisan strategy, even. The problem is that the local authorities, the mayors, not even local authorities, most of them want to comply, but it's a lot of times the mayors and it's a lot of times the governors that are refusing to let them hand over intelligence. They arrest these aliens for doing terrible crimes, they let them go immediately, and then they don't hand over the intelligence to federal authority. So there's a child offender, there's a domestic abuser, there's a trafficker, potentially even a murderer, just at large in the community. What is ICE going to do? They're going to be on edge, first of all, hunting this guy down because they know this is a violent person, and they're just basically guessing, which means there's propensity for mistakes. And you could minimize those mistakes so your community is less impacted if you actually handed over the intelligence to these guys. Because clearly, they're going to do it regardless. But no, we know why. It's because the left wants the chaos. They feed on it every fucking time. And anybody who doesn't see this at this point, I don't get it. The Renee Goods, the Alex Preddies, the St. Fentanyl Floyds, right? Every time they can make a martyr out of a tard, that is money to them. That is votes to them. That is power to them. And even more tards are going to get emotionally gaslit into rioting about it. And then that's going to put even more pressure on the right. And the right is going to cave because the right has no fucking balls. Oh, people are rioting now. We gotta shut down the entire government. We gotta fix this. We gotta figure it out. We gotta find a way to compromise. No more compromising. That's half the problem. You can't compromise with these faggots. Annoying as that is. And while it is still a problem in a lot of places, at least in Minnesota, it's coming down. Now bear in mind, the majority of Minnesota is fucking red. If not like moderate, very light blue, pale blue. It really is just that little tiny dot on the map that is Minneapolis, where the chaos is happening. Which is sad because that reminds me of California and Oregon and Seattle. There's a lot of states like that where they have such a reputation for being such blue shitholes, and in large part they are, but then outside of those city pockets, there's actually a lot of based people. And it's sad that they have to live with the retards. This is a funny thing. Not only is Minnesota slowly starting to cooperate, but even in Minneapolis, ICE is getting crafty.
Around a rosy, a pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
And in case you're confused on what's happening here, an ICE vehicle was seen endlessly doing laps around a traffic circle in Minnesota, distracting leftist activists while the rest of the ICE convoy moved on to the next target. Arrests were made uninterrupted. Brilliant. Play Ring Around the Rosie with the faggots while the rest of your team actually makes the arrest. Genius. Brilliant move on their end. More of this. Hopefully we can get more of this, more fun ideas on how to distract liberals. What's the best way to distract a leftist convoy while the rest of ICE makes an arrest? What's the best distraction for these people that you can think of? This is kind of okay, it's completely unrelated to ICE or immigration, but it's still great news. We were just talking about the exploitation of children, right? A major facet of that has been not even LGBT, it's mainly like psychos posing as T and then the Q plus group. Because I can't imagine like the OG normal trans people actually saying even half the shit. Trans people have been around for a while. It's never been like this. It was literally after the whole we don't gatekeep, any gender identity is valid, and of course the self ID thing. I can will myself a woman just by saying it. It was when that got in the community that immediately acceptance rate just PR negative. Lesbians and gays getting the right to marry, we're all about that. Acknowledging gender dysphoria is a real disease, and if you're an adult who struggles with it long enough and you've done the therapies and you've done everything you can and transition is your only option, while still acknowledging biological reality and finding the best way to compromise with women/men and integrate uninterruptedly into those spaces. That's what transition used to be about, and nobody really cared. It was literally the self ID. It was literally the we're not going to gatekeep anything is valid, so we got the non-binaries, which nobody knows what the fuck that even is. The fucking trigenders, apparently, somehow you're non. The thing about non-binary is you're not supposed to be male or female, but then you're male, female, and neither male or female all at once. Crazy shit like this, it makes no fucking sense. You literally, maybe it is the remember we are talking about the fluoride in the water making people dumber. Maybe this is our test. Maybe this is our best example on what happens when you drink too much fluoride. But it was literally when that started becoming a thing that this really became a problem, and this stuff really started getting pushed onto kids. So of course they're going to push this stuff onto kids, and then the kids are going to get confused and say, "Hey, we want to transition too. I don't like my body. I'm a young girl. I don't like my body. I want to change it. I'm a boy, but I like Barbies. I want to change my gender. I want to be a girl." Not only is the rate of children identifying as neither male or female or trans, that has gone way down, and I am hoping. Unfortunately, the rate of detransitioners, the rate of people who ruin their body with puberty blockers, with hormones, with surgeries, and yes, kids are getting surgeries. Don't even fucking think about saying that's not happening. That has gone up to the rate of people who identify that way is going down, and thankfully, I think a lot of them are going to be able to walk out of this, if only because of their base parents pulling them out of that garbage. I think a lot of those people who identified that way are going to go down before they were able to make those permanent changes and destroy their bodies and destroy. While that's going down, we also have this great news. The American Society of Plastic Surgeons announced it will no longer support gender-related surgical procedures for minors while it conducts a comprehensive review of the scientific evidence. The organization cited concerns about limited high-quality data, long-term outcomes, and the need to uphold evidence-based and ethical medical standards. Do No Harm and its members proudly support ASPS's decision. It's an important move toward prioritizing patient safety and truly doing no harm. Yes, and this is fucking great. This is great. Especially because in New York City of all places, that's supposed to be like a trans kid sanctuary, right? A doctor just lost his lawsuit in New York City, forced to award $2 million to a detransitioner. Young girl cut off her breasts, took testosterone. And there's so many of those lawsuits going on around the country right now. If it happens in California and Oregon, which there's a few there now, if we see motions in California and Oregon, that's going to be fantastic. That's going to be a real change because that's what you really think these doctors, the people performing these surgeries, that they care about the kids in these situations? No. It's a lucrative business. If you take the puberty blockers, if you take the hormones, if you're trans, you're a patient for life. And if you try to detransition, you're still a patient for life. Either way, you're fucked. And those hormones, they're expensive. The puberty blockers, they're expensive. The surgeries, they're expensive. Like, it's really sad what surgeons, what doctors are willing to do to young people, and especially children. And I think we are seeing a major reversal on that. And thank God we are reevaluating this because since the original look into this, a lot more studies have been forced to come out. There were literally studies that major medical institutions would try to cover, would try to deny existed, keep from coming out, keep from being published, because it could quote unquote negatively affect trans kids. It could be weaponized against the trans community. Unfortunately for them, it still came out. Even bigger research papers have been conducted by the Europeans and in Canada, including one paper that said like something like 97% of kids with gender incompatibility with themselves, a massive majority of them outgrew it. And that was major because most of the studies, it was like, unhappy with your gender here, we're going to transition you. How are you happy with your gender 2 years later? It's like nothing. When we say the long term, we mean the long term. The kid is still a kid. There's a lot you think when you're 13 that you're still going to be thinking when you're 15. There's not a lot you think when you're 13 that you're still be thinking when you're fucking 20, when you're 25. That's the kind of stuff we're thinking about here. And there have literally been cases of young girls who get their breast cut off and like 2 days later they're begging for their breast to be put back on. They're not happy, which makes sense. I mean, they're kids. I remember there was a time when I was a kid, I was thinking about fucking I want to be a paranormal investigator. I was like 13 and really into like the paranormal stuff. 14 probably actually. It's like 14 and really into the paranormal stuff and I'm like, I'm going to be a paranormal investigator. Guess how long that lasted? About 6 months. I originally wanted to be a vet. I think I also at one point was thinking like stagehand. I don't know. I went through like a gothic sort of. You get the idea. Like kids change their mind on literally everything all the time. Like at 12, you're a tomboy. At 13, you're goth. At 14, you're emo. Fuck that. This is huge. This is great. It's another L for the people who exploit children. Okay, what do we take away from today's scattered day with a lot of ranting? First of all, American politics sucks. Both American parties, or rather, the Uniparty, it fucking sucks. Epstein is a creep, and so is so many of the people listed in the files, including potentially Trump, including anybody potentially listed therein. I think it's going to be a long time before we finally get to see a politician behind bars, a politician of any standing. At least we're making progress in the medical field as far as preventing the exploitation of young kids and the abuse. Fighting the woke doctors, the woke teachers ought to be next, the woke parents with them. And you know what? Maybe while we do that, we can actually make some progress on a politician for once. And that's all I got for today. And sorry this has been a really scattered episode. It's genuinely hard to approach the Epstein file situation. I know damn well I'm going to get screamed at for so many takes. Whatever take. Some leftist retard is going to hear me say being talked about by Epstein is not inherent proof that you're guilty of what Epstein was guilty of. Some leftist is going to think that's defending the person in question, or even defending Epstein, which means, oh my god, you're fucking retarded. And then people on the right are going to hear me say it's weird that Trump is mentioned so many times in the Epstein files, and the birthday card was weird, and there's just a lot of weird shit, including O'Keefe's video and stuff. And the right's gonna say, you traitor! Clearly Trump is completely innocent. He would never say gross shit about a woman in his life, which, guys, get over it. He has. Oh my god. We know Trump is a womanizer. We know he's a creep. And he hung out in Hollywood where a lot of this shit was the epicenter. So, what are you gonna say to that? But anyway, that's all I got. Please like and subscribe. Keep an eye out for the next video, and hopefully I will see you there. My friends, my spectators, thank you for watching, and farewell.